Form a probability tree for tossing a coin and throwing a die successively. So we're gonna first toss a coin. So we toss the coin. So this was the initial event where we had the coin in our hand and we are not doing anything. Then we toss the coin. After tossing the coin, we got two such outcomes or two such possible outcomes. It can be a head or it can be a tail. We don't know which one we get. Then we throw a dice and we got a number from the dice, and that number can be 1, that number can be 2, that number can be 3, that number can be 4, that number can be 5, and that number can be 6. Similarly, we can get a tail in the coin toss, and then when we throw the dice, we can get 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you can see the probability can be drawn quite easily. First we toss the coin, we got a head and tail. Then we threw the dice, and we got 6 such possible outcomes. So the total number of outcomes here is 12. Total outcomes is actually 12. And the probability of each outcome. So first, let me also show you the first in getting a head in a coin toss is half. Similarly, in case of tail, it will be half, and in all cases of these numbers, it will be 1 by 6. 1 by 6. Because there are 6 such numbers, and after them any one can be a possibility. That is, total outcomes in the dice part is 6, and 1 can be the possible outcome. So that is 1 by 6. So 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, and 1 by 6. So this is how you can write the probability tree of coin and a dice throwing. So we move on from that probability tree to our 15 number math, that is the probability that a certain person will travel from Dhaka to Rajshahi by train is 5 by 9. So 5 by 9, an important information. And that subsequently the person will travel from Rajshahi to Dinajpur by bus is 2 by 7. So first he is gonna move from Dhaka to Rajshahi, and then he is gonna stay there and party for a little bit, and then he will move to Dinajpur from Rajshahi. And in that case he might use a train or he might use a bus, or might use another different thing. That can also be a possibility. So you need to in the first question we need to find the probability that the person will travel from Dhaka to Rajshahi not by train and then travel to Dinajpur by bus. Okay, so first thing we need to draw the probability tree. So first we are going to actually work with Rajshahi, that how we can go to Rajshahi. Then we will work out with how we can go to Dinajpur. So he can move from Dhaka to Rajshahi by train, or he can go not by train, that is he can go by bus or by walking or by cycling. Those last two ones are harder options, but we can actually do it if you want. I'm also dreaming of doing that one day. So this is, firstly he can go by train, and secondly firstly he can go by train, or he can go not by train or use another mode of transport like booking a car or walking or foot or on foot, etc. So not by train. Not by train. So I guess I should write the train and not train here, so it will become much cleaner. Train and not train, or not by train. Then he reached Dinajpur, and after he done his party, he can go in two other ways. That is, he can go by bus to Dinajpur, or he can go not by bus. That is, he can again take a train, or he can move through a private car, or he can actually bribe a truck driver and use his cabin as transport, or use the truck as transport. All are possible outcomes. Similarly, when he moved to Rajshahi, not by train, that is through other modes of transport, after reaching Rajshahi, he can also go using a bus, or he can also skip the bus and use other mode of transport. So not by bus. So let us see what will be the individual probabilities, that is of probability of that person going to Rajshahi by train, or the probability of that person for not going to Rajshahi by train. So we are going to use a different thing. So the given probability for that person is 5 by 9. That is, he can move to Rajshahi by train, has the probability of 5 by 9. Okay. So what is the probability of that person to move not by train? It will be 1 minus 5 by 9. That is 4 by 9. Okay. Similarly, in case of bus, it is 2 by 7. So moving by bus is 2 by 7. So moving by bus will be 1 minus 2 by 7. That is equal to 5 by 7. Similarly, bus is 2 by 7. And not by bus is 5 by 7. Okay. So this is how we can draw the probability tree. Now that we have drawn the probability tree, we are gonna do the maths in this part in a very little space, because it's gonna take not that much space, I guess. So find the probability that the person will travel to Dhaka to Rajshahi not by train, and then travel to Dinajpur by bus. So you're gonna work with first not by train, there is this part, and then moving to Dinajpur by bus. So he can move to Rajshahi not by train and by bus. Okay, sorry, let me rephrase the sentence so that you can understand what we are gonna do. So he can move to Rajshahi not by train, and then he can move to Dinajpur by bus. So while saying this sentence, there comes an and. So we are going to multiply the 4 by 9 and 2 by 7, and we will get the value of this probability. So P, not train and bus, writing in shortcut, not train and then bus, is 4 by 9 into 2 by 7. So 4 by 9 into 2 by 7. That is 8 by 63. Similarly, find the probability that the person will travel from Dhaka to Rajshahi by train and then travel to Dinajpur not by bus. So he moves to Rajshahi by train and then skip the bus, or use the same train to go to Rajshahi, Dinajpur. So it will be train into not by bus. So P, train into not by bus. So we get 5 by 9 into 5 by 7. 5 by 9 into 5 by 7. So 25 on the top, and on the bottom we get 63. So 25 by 63 is the answer. So see, these maths are very small in size, but you have to understand what you're actually doing, and then you can easily solve these maths. Okay, so this math has been solved.